Welcome back to Grand Slam channel. Today is Monday, January 13th. Hope you all have a great weekend. We got one more NFL game on the slate to determine who's going to play the Eagles. We got the Vikings versus the Rams. Should be a great close game. I believe the Rams beat the Vikings in the first couple of weeks of the season, 30-20. Should be a close game. So let's get started. We do have a couple NBA games, which I'll go over a couple props. But for NFL, I do have four decent props. Some of them are a good value on DG as well. First one I'll be going with is going to be Aaron Jones. Rushing yards is in play. His Gobbies at 39.5, 49 are also in play. Overall, I'm going to be taking his rush and receiving yards, which you can get it at 83.5. I do like his original line. I might play it safe and go with his 74.5. It is a higher payout than his 59.5. But he did go over at 83.5. He nearly had 100 rushing and receiving yards last time he played the Rams. Given it's the playoffs, I know defense is a big factor. So Aaron Jones, I'll be taking his Dobby at 74.5, but his regular line at 83 is solid. Which brings me to his counterpart, and that is Tyreen Williams. He had a huge game against the Vikings, nearly 100 rushing yards. Did have about 20-25 receiving yards as well, which is a big reason why I'm going to be taking his rush and receiving yards as well. He is at 98.5. Most likely I'll be taking the second highest payout, Gabi, which I believe they should have two of them. And they only have 74.5. Same one as Aaron Jones. Obviously, it's a bigger discrepancy from 98.5 down to 74, so it's a lower payout. But given the fact that we got Aaron Jones' second highest paid Dobby, so it should even it out close to a 2x. So these are two solid props. I do like the original lines. You can take the original lines. I just prefer the Dobbies. Next one is Justin Jefferson. And he had a big game against the Rams, nearly 100 yards. I am going to be taking his receiving yards Dobby, which is at 59.5. I'm going to be taking his 69.5. You can also take his 79.5. It's also in play. As you can see, they do have him projected for a touchdown. Over 100K people are on it. Obviously, I like to avoid the popular plays. Usually don't do well statistically. The popular plays do not always hit. Fantasy scores also in play. I do like his receiving yards, and most likely I will have his receptions at 4.5, 5.5 on my other slip. He got 8 last time he played against the Rams. He is the number 1 receiver along with Jordan Addison. They do have Hawkinson, Aaron Jones. Vikings have a lot of weapons as well as the Rams. The Rams are finally fully healthy, which is a big reason why they're in the playoffs. Puka's there. Cooper Cup, Tutu. They got Kyrene. I mean, they got a lot of weapons. Should be a high offensive game. But given it's a playoffs, it might become a defensive game as well, which I'm going to be targeting Matthew Stafford. Season, he's experienced at the Super Bowl win. The team is hot. All his players' weapons are fully healthy. So I'm going to be taking Matthew Stafford passing touchdowns. I think this is going to turn into a Dobby if not taken off the board. So hopefully you guys get this in. And that rounds up my top picks. As far as the Vikings QB, I'm not too confident in him. He's not proven in the playoffs, but Sam Darnold didn't do well in the last game of the season as well to win the division. They choked, got beat pretty badly against the Lions. I think I have Stafford edging Sam Darnold in this one, taking experience over Darnold. And that rounds up my top 5 picks. Obviously, I have Jefferson twice, but you can take his receiving yards or his receptions. Let's head on over to NBA. The board. Beware of this Buddy Hield popular play. I know it's the number 1 popular play. I believe Draymond Green, Stephen Curry, they should be back in the lineup. Buddy Hield might get put back in the bench, so beware of that. I know it's popular because everybody sees the last five. He is taken out the starting lineup, so beware of that. First one's going to be Grady Dick at 4.5. It's going to get bumped to 5. I know it's a popular play, so it's going to get bumped to 5. Hopefully you guys get in at 4.5. I have him projected to get 5. So if it does get bumped to 5, you have that push equity. Next one is Anthony Edwards. And for him, you have several options. You can take his fantasy score, which I will be taking his fantasy score, which is at 45 points, 26.5. I did take him on a slip. Uh, Also, his Gabi at 20.5 is decent as well. Plays very, very well against Washington. The last time out, he had over 50 points. He's gone over past 5 matchups. He's gone over 505 against every time he plays against Washington. So most likely I'll be taking his fantasy score and his Gabi points. Next one is Wembayama. And for him, you got several options. The go-to guy for the Spurs. But for him, I do like his rebounds and assists, which has been slightly bumped. You can still take them on other platforms. I believe you can get them at 13.5. Here on PrizePicks is at 14. I took it at 14. We do have that push equity. I have him projected to get 16 in this one, if not more. Playing against the Lakers, he plays very well against the Lakers. The Lakers are not good at guarding centers. So I'm going to have Wembayama over RA. And also look into his points and rebounds. Most likely, if I take another prop from him, will probably be his PRA Gabi at 34.5. Next prop is Alstar Thompson. Underrated Piston. Been playing pretty well going against the Knicks. I do have his fantasy score 19.5, a little bit too low. Usually his line's at 20.5 or 21.5. I'll be taking the over on his fantasy score. Past 10 games, he got over 8 of 10. Doesn't play much minutes, but he does get a solid 25. He averages from 25 to 28 minutes. He should fairly get his production in at 19.5 fantasy score. It does have block and steal potential. And last one is actually a first half PRA. And I think it's a sneaky play. I'm going to be taking Kawhi Leonard. Fantasy score just got posted. I was taking his PRA at one of the slips. I still like his PRA, but I'm going to pivot to his fantasy score now, and that is probably my day one of the Ladder Day Challenge. Last couple of days for the Ladder Day Challenge, we either got a refund or we have gotten reboots. So hopefully we don't have one today, but I will be taking Kawhi Leonard as probably my play of the day as far as NBA's first half props. Fantasy score and PRA are in play. He did come back from injury a couple games ago. He had played 2 games, went over, and then he took some time off due to the LA wildfires. So Kawhi Leonard's back. I'll be taking the over. Miami's shorthanded. So I'll be taking Kawhi Leonard's fantasy. Even if he's rusty, he still went over those 2 games after a major injury. So Kawhi Leonard will be on my slip. That rounds up my top 5. Another one for the first half that I do like, I'm seeing a lot in my community, is Jonas. DG likes him. They have him going over. Most likely I'll be taking his fantasy score at 11.5. Does have block and steal potential. Only thing worried about him is his turnover, so I'm going to limit my exposure on him. But Kawhi Leonard is a better bet than Jonas. And that rounds up my picks for today. So mix and match with NFL. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Appreciate the support. If you want my exact same slips and on other platforms such as Sleeper and Chalkboard, I do have a Discord. The link is in the description below. Other than that, have a great day and see you guys in the next one.